Hi everyone, it's Ben. Welcome to Watchbots Prime. So, over the last few weeks, as I've been doing work on the couch, I've been watching some old Transfomers. There's a couple of reasons behind it, and no, one of them is not being a man-child. Lord help me, I've been wanting to watch the Michael Bay Transformers movies, and I want to give myself the proper context in which to do it. Like, it's summer blockbuster season, and with everything going on, obviously that's not happening this year, although I am very excited for Tenet, and probably will brave a theater. But anyway, like those movies feel so bombastic and over the top, and I think I've only seen about half of them, so I've just been, I don't know, oddly fascinated with watching them lately. And I mean, we'll talk about Transformers again on the show at some point, but like I watched the first season, which is 13 episodes, and went, oh, this is oddly coherent, right? Like it's episodic, there's some continuing narrative, it's the same general group of Transformers. When the hell did this go off the rails? And immediately discovered that it's in the beginning of season 2, where you could tell they decided they needed to spend a little bit less money on it, so everything just looks a little bit cheaper. And characters are just showing up out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden, there's an episode in there where like Perceptor, the microscope, shows up, and Beachcomber, the hippie geologist Autobot, shows up, and it's like, who the fuck are these guys? But it's weird stuff. I mean, watching those episodes sort of, not binging them at all, but, you know, watching them regularly just underscores like, oh, this is very slapdash and very ramshackle, but I respect it. I suspect G.I. Joe is the same way. I'll get to that too. I am committing to watching Transformers the movie, the animated one, with Unicron and Galvatron and Optimus Prime shit in it and all that. It's a bummer. I'm sure it will be. I haven't seen that movie in at least 15 years, but it's okay. I mean, it's another thing to pass the time here, and there ain't nothing wrong with that, right? Speaking of passing the time, this week we are returning to the merry world of Marvel, and we're really pushing the limit on nostalgia here. We're talking about one of Marvel's most lasting heroes, who's seen some rough patches over the years, but he's in full force today, baby. We're talking about Iron Man. And Iron Man's seen a lot of incarnations over the years. There was 3 or 4 attempts to get him into a movie. Tom Cruise was attached at one point. There was just a horrible cartoon in the mid-90s. But as Robert Downey Jr. brought the character back to prominence, he showed up in about 150 fucking cartoons. And it's one of those that we're talking about. This is 2010's Iron Man Armored Adventures. Some things never change, and cartoons having just generic rock songs associated with them is certainly one of them, which I can appreciate here. This show was produced in France. It feels very French, and it's sort of a spin on Iron Man. Everybody's a sexy teen. The world is sparsely populated. Like, there's these big cities with not a lot of people in them, but it's fun. It's actually, you know, a fairly quality cartoon. Was there anything to joke about? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But the episode we watched is Iron Man 2099, which, if you are a comics nerd from the early 90s, and if you're listening to this, chances are 50-50 you are, you'll remember Marvel 2099, which was a time when Marvel decided to just put all of their heroes in the future and put them under different identities. Kind of weird, kind of fascinating, but it's fun stuff. Anyway, it also involves time travel. So Yes, I'm sure we will be digging into every minute detail of that, but yeah, I think it'll be a good one. But I think that'll do it for today. I don't want to stay too long. It's like the George Costanza thing, right? Like leave on a high note. But what is the high note here? I guess the only thing I can think of is that Taco Bell is now delivering to my house. So that's my ultimate high note. And I guess that'll be good enough. See ya.